everyone, and welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. Before we get started, I have a couple of announcements, some goodies to show, and a peek at my weekly whips. So let's get going. The first announcement is that Maria from Colorful Mother of Three and I have decided to start a Instagram group dedicated to coloring in mythographic books because we want to continue the trend begun by Erica from Elm Colors, where we color a book or a page every month. So there will be a couple of options. You can either decide to color in the book of the month, or you can decide to color the page of the month. Or you can decide to color any other book and find some scavenger items. So I will put up on the screen the announcement with January's information, and then you can decide to participate if you would like. If you're interested in joining the group, please send me a DM in Instagram or a comment down below on this video, and I will be very happy to add you. So that's the first announcement. The second announcement is that there is going to be a 2026 annual hashtag for the channel, and I will be posting sometime this week the video explaining all of that, so stay tuned for that. And now let's move on to some of the goodies that I have gotten this week. Right, so a few months ago, I purchased a couple of sets, well, as you can see, a lot more than a couple, of the Languau calligraphy pens, and I haven't been using them. The reason I haven't been using them is that I've been storing them in this box and then in their individual packets, and really the hassle of getting them out and opening them up and all of that has just prevented me from using them. So I wanted to move them out of this box. And I recently saw a video. It was either Emma Colors or it was Colorfully Optimistic, Corey's video. I can't remember which one. I will look it up and put it on the screen. But anyway, one of them was talking about a pouch that she found to store her Languau pens in. So I went off and I got one. So I purchased this, and it is the official pouch for these pens. So it comes with these dividers where you tuck in the pens, and there's room for 108. I'm not really sure how 108 are getting in here. I think it is either 3 or 4 pens per slot on both sides. And then you can also store some over here. So I will be playing around with that and seeing how many I can get in. My collection is 88 pens, so I'm 100% sure that I will get all of them in here. But if you have the large set of 108, I'm not so sure. But according to the description on the AliExpress website, it definitely fits 108. So if you have 108 and purchase this pouch, let me know if you fit them all in. Right, so that is one thing that I got. Another thing that I got is some tabs for my journal. I wanted some monthly tabs that I could attach. And they also have, hold on one second, I'm going to pause to get it out of the bag. Okay, so I'm back, and this is what they look like. So it comes in 2 sets, an A and a B, and you can attach these to the edges of the journal for the months, and then it's also got like a little mini calendar for that month. So I'm going to be adding this to my Sterling ink weeks because I got the undated version, and now I've realized I need dates. So I will be sticking those in. Okay, and the last thing that I got is this cool little book. It's all in Chinese, and I will be using Google Translate to translate everything. But basically, it is to help you draw manga images. And I've been planning for quite a few years to do that, to draw my own manga, faces. And please excuse the whiny dog. He has had breakfast, but he is just telling us that, he's not at all satisfied with the service here. Anyway, so you've got all of these instructions over here for how to draw all sorts of things, and then you've got pages that you can practice on. But I'm also thinking that you could just color these, and they're so beautiful. I'm really impressed. And the paper is nice. It's got some tooth to it. So it will be good for pencils. It is double-sided, so unfortunately you can't use alcohol markers. Yeah, but it's really pretty. There were 3 books, but I decided to just get one and try it out before, investing in all 3. Yeah, so if you're interested, I will put links to all of this in the description box, and you can check them out. And also here in the front, we have some colored versions for each of the girls, and also in the back. Yeah, so yeah, that's really nice, and I'm looking forward to both trying to draw and color these. Right, so those are the goodies that I got, and now I'm going to move on to my whips of the week. Okay, so December has been quite a hectic month, and I haven't gotten as much coloring done as I would have liked, and it's quite possible that December's completed pages will not have as many pages as in the past, but nevertheless, I have enjoyed the coloring that I've been doing, and I have made progress on some pages. So the first one is in Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlson, and this is a buddy color with the wonderful Chrissy Wilcox. We've been doing this since November, I think. It is this double page spread. This side of the page is actually completed. It looks a little bit more bright under the lights of the camera here, but it's a little bit darker in person. So I finished this side, and I am almost done with this side. So we have, all I've got left are all of the cogs on her tunic and around her eye lens here, this glasses lens, which I still also have to color, and then the cogs on her hat as well. And I've called this page the Clockwork Fly and the Clockwork Lady, but I've been thinking about it as I've been coloring. And this clock and the wings makes me think of, time flying. So Tempus Fugit and all that. So I'm thinking of changing the name of this page. Anyway, so this is the page, and I've really enjoyed this buddy color with Chrissy. We chat as we are coloring the different elements and have a really good time together. So anyway, that's what I've done in this book. So that's Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlson. The next book that I worked on in December is Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes, and this is actually a color along on the channel. And the page that we have been working on is this double page spread of the Mystical Mountains. So on the channel are currently 2 videos where I have colored this gradient sky, and another video where I colored all of the snow. So you can check those out if you're interested. And I'm actually pleased with the way that it is coming along, and I am going to be continuing, as I said, filming this as a color along, and I'm going to be doing the mountains next. So so check those 2 videos out if you're interested in seeing my process. Okay, so that's Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. And the last book that I worked in this month so far is Dragonspell. Yes, Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Katzenbang. And the page that I'm working on for the Instagram group where we are coloring this book together is this one. Okay, so I called it Sweet Pea Dragonling. But as I've been coloring these bulbs, I realized I have not really colored them in the colors of traditional sweet peas. Nevertheless, I did look up and did find that there are purple sweet peas. So I'm still calling it the Sweet Pea Dragonling. I've got plans for the rest of the page. I'm going to be finishing off the flowers. I'm going to be doing the clouds, hopefully today. And then I'm thinking of what color to do the girl's dress. I'm thinking, this is my color palette for the page. So I'm thinking of doing her dress in these pink colors. And maybe putting in some tints of blue in as well. And I'm thinking that her tail and wings are going to be this blue color. So we've got some nice options here for her tail and for her dress. And even though it's not on the palette, it is in the inspiration image. So there's some green here. So I am going to be doing the vines in that green color. And I've decided on a gold cage. I was still debating silver or gold, but based on what I've got on the page so far, it's going to be a gold cage and a gold key. Okay, so yeah, those are the pages that I worked in this week. And now we're going to move on to coloring our Tea and Tranquility page. As you know, we are coloring the teacups and the teapot page in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. And this is our progress so far. Okay, this is our color palette. And so far we have colored the flowers, and these leaves, and today we're going to move on to these leaves, and I have decided that I'm going to color them gold. And I was also thinking about what we are going to do with the background for this kettle, and also the backgrounds for the two teacups, because they're going to match. So I went off to Pinterest to find some inspiration. Okay, so let me show you that. Right, so this is the inspiration image that I found on Pinterest, and we are going to try to get this effect of the glowing blue water in the teacup and in the teapot. And of course, this has also helped me decide what color to do the handles for our tea cups and teapot. I was debating between silver and gold for these elements here and here, and this inspiration image has helped me to decide we're going to make them gold. And of course, it also gave me the inspiration for the gold leaves. In order to get this effect, we are going to be using some watercolor pencils. So I have the Aquarelle Art, the Faber-Castell Art Grip Aquarelle pencils. These colors are identical to the Albrecht Dürer pencils and also to the Polychromos. So if you have either these pencils or the Albrecht Dürer or the Polychromos, they all match. They all match in the different shades. So we are going to be using 154, which is cobalt green, 156, which is light cobalt turquoise, and 144, which is blue cobalt greenish. Okay, so these are the three colors that we're going to be using. And as I said, the numbers are identical in the whole Faber-Castell range of pencils. Okay, so yeah, let's see if we can achieve all of the things that I have planned for today. Okay, so I have clipped back the pages so that the book will open more easily. And I must say, as we're working with this book, each time it opens a bit more easily. I just don't want to break the spine, even though I did see that it is stitch bound. Anyway, so I wanted to show you, last week I was talking about what I did with my empty Yankee Candle jar. So I cleaned it out and I have put all of my paper clips in there. And I must say, getting them out is much easier, and they all kind of smell like smoked vanilla now. Anyway, so right, just a reminder, if you're new here, first of all, if you're new, welcome, and I hope that you enjoy the Saturday Snippets with us. But yes, this is a chatty style video, so if you don't want to hear me rambling on about all sorts of different things, you can mute me and put on your music and color along without listening to me go on and on. Right, so we're moving on to coloring these leaves, and as we've been doing so far on this page, we're using luminance pencils. So I've got golden bismuth, I've got burnt sienna, I've got 50% sepia, natural russet, and black. I'm not sure we'll use the black. We will see. I like to avoid using black if possible. It's a very problematic color. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to get started on these leaves. Okay, so we are starting with these leaves over here, and I'm going in with the yellow bismuth. Okay, and just putting a light layer of this down over here. Right. So I hope that you have all been having a good week, and you know, coping in the cold weather. It's gotten colder. So because it's gotten colder, I decided that it was time for Toby to start wearing his sweaters outside. And so I took out the sweaters. I thought that we had more. I thought that we had 3, but then I remembered that one of them had gotten really stretched in the wash, so I had gotten rid of it, and the other one had sort of shrunk. I don't know. 2 very different responses from 2 different sweaters, so he only had one. So then I decided, okay, I have to go and get him some new ones. All right, we're moving on to the russet, natural russet. Yeah, so I purchased him some new ones, and they arrived, and he's been wearing them outside. He's so cute in them. But yeah, they're keeping him warm because he needs them. And yeah, so that happened this week. He's a very spoiled dog, just so you know, even though he complains all the time. Yeah, so that happened this week. What else happened this week? I finally got my reading mojo back. I was getting a little bit upset. I love to read, and being in a reading slump is very, it gets me down a little bit. So I was kind of upset that my reading had been put on the back burner, and so I decided I needed to do something about that. Okay, now we're going in with the burnt sienna. So what I decided to do was, take my book and just read a chapter every day. And slowly but surely, it started to get my mojo back. Okay, I'm putting this color down along these veins. So I was really pleased that slowly but surely my reading is coming back. And I'm reading... it's called Her Final Confessions by Lisa Reagan. It's book number, I'm tempted to say 5, but it might be 6 in the Josie Quinn series. Okay, and now we're going in with the 50% sepia. This I'm only putting in the shadow areas, so around this leaf. And then in the darkest shadow there. And only here in the shadow area there. Around this leaf and in the shadow area. Okay. Okay, we're gonna skip the black for now. We might come in afterwards and put a little bit of it. So now we're going back in with the natural russet. Okay, we're just going to put this a little bit into that yellow bismuth. Yeah, so I'm enjoying that book now that I've been able to get into it. I like to take notes while I read. I am such an academic. So if you're new here, that's what I do for a living. I am a lecturer at a college. I teach literature and academic writing. That sort of, finds its way into my reading for pleasure as well, because I like to take notes while I'm reading, especially if it's a mystery. I like to try and figure it out for myself and see, try and figure out who the culprit is. Okay, so that's the yellow bismuth, but I'm leaving the highlight. Okay, we're going to leave that white there for the highlight. In fact, I might get white and just blend that together a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yes, let's just blend that out a bit with the white. Okay. Right, and oh, that's nice. I like that. We're going to put the yellow back in just a little bit to get a bit of a shine. Okay. Yeah, so I've gone back to reading, which I'm very happy about. And another thing that I've been doing this week is I've been playing video games. I'm starting to see why I didn't color as much. Okay, now we're going to go in with the black, but really, really lightly and only in the darkest shadows. Okay. Over there. There. Okay, and we're going to blend that out with the burnt sienna. Okay. Yeah, so I'm playing, I like to play adventure games, so I'm playing big fish games, and the one I'm playing is called Reflections of Life, and I'm actually almost done. So this is actually a game I purchased a few years ago, and I've played it 3 times, and each time I forget what to do, so it's like playing it for the first time. And I think this time it also has a couple of bonus chapters, and I think this time I actually did the bonus chapters. I think the first time I played it, I didn't do the bonus chapters. The second time I played it, I did 1 bonus chapter, and this time I'm actually into the second bonus chapter. So that's nice. And once this one is finished, I saw that there's a platform called Steam where you can buy video games, and I saw that they're having a sale. So I might get one from Steam to play. The thing is, I have a Mac, and so the choices for playing video games on the Mac are limited, and you can't play their games on the iPad, because I've been playing the current game that I'm playing on my iPad, but the Steam games cannot be played on an iPad. So, yeah, I will have to play on the Mac, and I will have to find one that's compatible. I really want to play Myst again, and I know Myst is available for the iPad, so I might get that one instead. We're just going to darken up this little area with the black, just tiny, tiny amounts. Got to be careful with black. So really just tiny, tiny, and blend out with the burnt sienna, sorry. Ooh, I like these leaves, they've come out nice. Okay. Right, so there are our gold leaves on that side. They're more of a pinky gold, which is nice. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but on this side. So back in with the bismuth yellow. Now here, this leaf is casting a shadow over here, so this side is going to be a bit darker. And our light source is from above, so this side is going to be a bit lighter. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, playing video games. I've also been getting ready for the new year, yes, 2026, in my coloring journal. So I've slowly been putting that together, and you will see that in my December completed pages. I will show you my new planner for 2026 and all the things that I have done in it and what I plan to keep track of in this coming year. Some things I am keeping from last year, some things I am making some minor changes to. So make sure to tune in for that. It's going to be not next week, the beginning of the week after that, I think. Yeah, next Saturday is the 27th. So it won't be next week, it'll be the week after that. Now we're going in with the natural russet again. Okay, so this whole section here is in shadow, so we're just gonna cover all of that. And then just a little bit over there. And I'm gonna leave the highlight there. Yeah, so that's going to be up. What else? So yeah, reading, video games, journaling. Oh, and I've started doing calligraphy again. Next year, I really want to focus on some other hobbies as well. So I've started up with my calligraphy again, and I'm enjoying that. Do you have any other hobbies besides coloring? Let me know in the comments if you do and what you enjoy doing in your downtime besides coloring. Oh, I know. Hold on, I have to go and cover him. I think he's cold. 1 second. Sorry about that. I also realized that the heater wasn't on. I think that's why he's cold. Okay, so yeah, where was I with these leaves? I think we put in the bismuth yellow and we put in the natural russet, so it's the burnt sienna next. Yeah, again, so darker under here and over here. Yeah, so what else did I do this week? Work was nice. As I said, I'm a lecturer, so in my class I was teaching the students in the academic writing course. In the course, I was helping them with their vocabulary, and we played some word games. So, as I said, I teach them how to write essays, and I feel that they need to use more academic words. So there's a list. It's called the academic word list. Okay, we're going in with why do I keep calling it dark sepia? That's what it's called in polychromos. It's the sepia 50%. Yeah, so there's a list. It's called of academic words. It's called the academic word list. Yes, and it contains about 600 words that are the most common words used in academic articles and essays, and we try to encourage our students to use them. So I have all sorts of exercises for them to do, but they have other courses that, they're doing all the time, and I just feel that they're not doing the exercises. So I decided that I would take a lesson and just, play games with them, word games, for practicing the academic word list so that they would use it in their writing. Because at the end of the semester, on their final exam, they are going to have to write an essay. So it will be a 5-paragraph essay, and they are also graded for their use of academic vocabulary. Anyway, so I made a Kahoot. So there is an app called Kahoot where you can practice all sorts of things. And it's like a game. It's like a timed game, and the students compete against each other. So they really like that. It's so amazing how even though they're adults, they still like games and competitions and things like that. They got quite competitive as they were practicing these words. And so it was fun. They enjoyed it. I put them into teams so that they could, work together as well in a collaborative way. So they enjoyed that. Yeah, and in the end, I think they did learn something, which is always good. So we did that. And another thing that we did, it's not the academic word list, but I wanted to show them that they could play Wordle. So some of them already play Wordle. So I'm not sure. I'm assuming everyone knows what Wordle is. It's such a hit. So if you don't know what Wordle is, the New York Times has a also has a games page. So they have quite a few games. Unfortunately, they have changed the way they do them, and most of them are now, you have to have a subscription to play, which is kind of unfortunate because I used to play quite a few of the games. Like, for example, I used to do the mini crosswords, but now you have to have a subscription to do the mini crossword. And some of the other games, you need to have a subscription. I can't remember. I used to do Connections, and I think Connections, you now need a subscription. And I think Strands is still free to play. I have to check if that one's still free to play. But Wordle is still free to pay. And so, yeah, I think if they do away with Wordle, I think people might actually revolt. Anyway, so we played Wordle together, and it helps with their spelling. There's some students who struggle with their spelling quite a bit. So that helps with their spelling because they have to know which letters can go together. Oh, that's nice. I like it. It came out slightly brighter than that side, which is actually okay, because if our light source is coming from this direction, yes, then this side would be lighter, because these flowers, these leaves are actually casting a shadow onto these leaves. So the fact that these ones are a bit brighter than those actually works out. Yeah, so let's do here, here. Yeah, so we played Wordle. And another thing we did, Merriam-Webster dictionary online also has cool word games. This is the Natural Russet, yeah. They also have some cool word games, so we played those. And some of them are really hard, like name this thing. One of the games is called Name This Thing, and it's obscure items that you really wouldn't think that you know the name of. You just think, oh, I know what that is. It is the part of the stair that goes up. But what is it called? So it's called a riser. So all sorts of different things. So for example, another example is, what is on a corn plant? So you have the kernels, you have the corn kernels, you have the husk, which is the outer part of the corn, like when it's still in its, it hasn't been removed from the plant itself yet. So that the outer part of the corn is called the husk. And then the question was, what is the part of the husk at the very, very top? You have like leafy fronds sort of thing. What is that called? So it turns out that it's called the silk. I did not know that. So even I learned something, and that's fun. I like learning new things. So I learned along with my students what that was called. But I was actually quite pleasantly surprised. They knew quite a few terms for name that thing. Yeah, so that was fun. And another one, we also did name the animals. There are all sorts of animals in that, they have names, and we just think of them as like wild cats or things like that. But there was serval and caracal, and we have rock rabbits in my town, and we just call them rock rabbits, but they're actually called hyrax, which is also cool. Okay, so let us zoom out and see what our gold leaves are looking like right now. So this is the page right now, and I really like the way that the gold is combined with the other colors, the pink, the purple, and the teal. I think this has turned out to be a really good combination. And I think what we're going to do I want to start doing the background? Or do I want to do some more of these leaves? I think I'm going to do the background, and let it dry. But before then, let's do these stars. Since I already have the gold combination out, I'm going to color in these stars. So we're just going to take the yellow bismuth. They are really, really small, so we're not going to do very much with them. We're going to color them all, first of all, with the yellow bismuth. And once everything's done, like the background's in, we'll probably come back in with some white acrylic marker. Or maybe we can put gold gel pen. We're just going to do the natural russet. Okay, you only want a touch of this because you want to keep the yellow. And these little stars are so tiny. And the black. And for the black, really just a touch in the corner here and there. Just like a stroke of this color. And that's it. And back in with the yellow to blend. Yes. For these dots, these little circles, we're going to use gel pen at the very, very end. Oh, I missed this one. Oh, do we want to do? Yeah, let's do these two as well. Hold on. Let's move over so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's the stars in the steam here, which we will do at the very end when we do the background. Okay. Yeah, so I taught that this week, and as I said, the students had a lot of fun. They're quite competitive. And what else? In my other course, we are reading Animal Farm, and we started to discuss allegory. Okay, let's zoom out again, and then I think we're going to start with the background for the kettle. So our stars are in, and as I said, I'm going to start doing the background for this kettle. Now let's go back to our inspiration picture and take another look at it, because I think what's happened there is there's a glow in the middle. So we're going to see how we're going to achieve that. So hold on one second. Okay, so the first thing I did was I flipped the picture around so that it is in the same direction as our teapot. I love it when you can do that. Okay, so yeah, as I said, here is lighter. We're gonna try and get this, you know, that the kettle is only partially full. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go all the way to the top because this kettle has this line here. So I think we're going to do that. And yeah, so we're going to start off with our lightest color, which is 154, and it is the cobalt green. All right, and we're just going to put this all over. Okay, so just very lightly. So I'm holding my pencil down further along the barrel. This will give me very light pressure. Okay, we're using watercolor pencil because we want to get this translucent effect. And to get the translucent effect, the best thing to do is use watercolor. I'm actually thinking of going over these flowers, these leaves, because I see in the reference picture that they're like a dark blue color, and we can do that. So yeah, let's go over these as well. Yeah, so we want to get that translucent effect, and you're going to get that with watercolor. It's very difficult to achieve that with pencil. You can still, but you've got to leave a lot of highlights. And with watercolor dries even lighter than when first, put down on the paper. So one option is to use actual watercolors, but because we have a lot of small details here, and watercolor is difficult to control, I think it's not a good idea to use actual watercolors, and I think using watercolor pencils is better. You get the same effect, but the watercolor pencil, as you can see, can go into the small areas. Yeah, so that's why we're using watercolor pencils and not actual watercolors. With watercolors proper, you'll get more of a translucent effect than with the pencils, but you'll still get the translucent effect with the pencils. Yeah, so I'm just going over the entire background with this watercolor pencil. This book, we are trying out lots of different mediums. I'm enjoying it. We've done different bands of pencils. We've done watercolors in our previous page, the Garden Friends page. We've used ink tints, and now we're using watercolor pencils. So I'm enjoying trying out lots of different mediums in this book. The paper takes water really well. I'm very impressed. Right. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go over that and that as well. We're leaving these because I'm going to color them a different color. All right, here, very lightly, very lightly. Okay. Right, now we're going to go in with our next darkest color, which is 156. This one is light cobalt turquoise. All right, so I can see if I look at my reference image. Oops, no, I did something. Hold on. So if I look at my reference image, I see that it's darker across the edge here and at the bottom, and then here by the spout. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, so we're just going a little bit in. Okay, and I'm gonna go in. Well, we can just do the whole thing. We can just do the whole thing. And here as well. Now I see on the kettle that they've put blue on top, but I don't want to do that. I like our gold leaves. So my idea is that here in the picture, it's like the leaves are inside the pot, but our leaves are going to be as if they're outside the pot. So we're not going to put blue there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not chatting because I'm concentrating. Anyway, so what else did we do in class? Oh, as I said, my other course, I teach 20th century literature, and we're reading Animal Farm. Oh, and I to a certain extent, I despair with my students. Their general knowledge is so lacking. They really don't know much about the world in general and history in particular. Yeah, so they didn't know. I had to do a whole introduction on, the Russian Revolution, because Animal Farm is an allegory. Okay, we're leaving that light. We're just going to go around the spout there and there, but that we're leaving light. Okay, and I see here this is also dark. Okay, so yeah, their general knowledge is seriously lacking, and I had to do a whole introduction on the Russian Revolution and the Tsar and all of that, because, as I said, Animal Farm is an allegory, which is a story that has allusions to historical people and events. So in this case, it's the Russian Revolution. So I had to do the history of that. And then we started talking about all the different animals and who they represent. And they got it. It took a few, explanations, but in the end, I think they got it. And some of them were fine. Some of them did have some good background knowledge, I have a couple of students in my class who are Russian and Ukrainian. So, yeah, they were able to put in a lot of input, and it became quite an interesting discussion because they were talking about, you know, the situation in Russia now and so on, and they were talking about, you know, how it relates to what we were reading. So it became a really nice discussion. They're a lovely group. I do like this group. They work hard. They ask intelligent questions. Oh, that is nice. Okay, now we're going to put in this darkest color, okay, which is blue cobalt greenish. It's 144. Again, I'm just reminding you that if you have Albrecht Dürer or Polychromos, the numbers are the same. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so this is just on the edge here into this flower. Okay, it's like these flowers are in the water, but these flowers are out of the water. Oh, motorcycle going by. People are starting to get up in the neighborhood. It's cold, so they're not going out as early as usual. In the summer, the kids go out to play. Oh, I missed a bit. Hold on. And so it's really loud in the neighborhood in the morning. If you watch the Saturday Snippets from earlier on in the year, you can hear them sometimes. But it's cold now, so they're at home. Yeah, we're just going to put this in the shadows here and here. Okay, now let me see. Here too. Just a little. We're also going to be shading with pencils. So even if you don't put too much pencil down and it comes out really light, that's fine. It's going to be light also because we are going to add water. So, all right, and this spout there and just over here. Yeah, so that was a nice lesson in a different group. This is the 20th century literature course is given to second year students. But I also teach first year students, and there I teach introduction to prose and drama. So in that course, we were reading Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, I'm just going to take our lightest color again and just blend a little bit. Okay, just not a lot at all. Just blend out the color. Just a tad. Okay. Remember, we're going to go in. Here I want to put some more of this blue cobalt green. Okay, and blend. Sorry for the scratching noises that the pencils are making. Do I want to put some more here of this color? Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit. Around these flowers. And a bit more of this one. Over there. And I think that's it. Oh, and we've got a nice glow going. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to activate with water. 1 second, let me get a cloth to dab my water brush on. We are going to go from light to dark. In order not to get the dark paint into our highlight area, we go from light to dark. I give my brush a little squeeze to get some water out, and just light to dark. And as you can see, it's going to lighten up considerably. And if I see I'm going into the darker area, I just wipe off my brush. So first things first, the light areas. Okay. And here too. All right, and then you can go into the next color and blend a little bit into the lighter color, just a little bit. And if you go over some of the elements, don't worry about it. As I said, it dries really light. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing this zoomed out so that you can get the full impression of what we're doing. Okay, and if you feel that you've got a little bit too much water, dab it off. Okay, oh, I like this. This is working out nicely. I love working with watercolor pencils. I'm a bit of a control freak. And it's easier to control watercolor pencils than it is to control watercolors. But I also like working with watercolors, so they're fun. You just got to, relinquish control. So if you're a control freak like me, then watercolors will help you get over your control issues. Okay, where were we? Over there. I think I've done all of that. I've done that. Let's just do this side. Yeah. If it goes over, don't worry about it. Pencils fix a lot of, mistakes. All right, and I think, that's it. Right, yeah. That's going to look really nice when it's done. Okay, so that is it for today. I will see you all again next week for our next Saturday Snippets. And as I said, keep an eye out for our Mythographic Collective Instagram group. I'm going to put the information up on the screen. And stay tuned next week for my announcement of the annual hashtag. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you next time. Bye for now.